good afternoon. I know on Friday I said the following day I'd be doing an EVP for Isaac Cappy. I did not realize it was Friday. I thought it was Thursday. And on the weekends, my hubby's home, and I really just try to enjoy our time together that we do get, you know. So I apologize for confusing the dates. But before we do that EVP, I have to bring this to your attention because this is big. Okay, this is here we go. Case number 1-20-CV-07102-UA. All right, so let's see what it says. All right, it's a little small. Hold on. All right. So this is against the 1953 trust defendant, Harvey Weinstein, Sean Carter, which is Jay-Z, Duran Indike, I don't know who that is, Richard Kahn, the Weinsteins Corporation, Miramax, that's films. Oh boy. The Walt Disney Company, Def Jam's recordings. Okay. Rock Nation, Universal Music, Beyoncé Knowles, Kanye West, Terrence Tortond. I don't know who that is. Black Cube, Vivendi S.A., Dwayne Carter, which is Lil Wayne, Jean-Luc Bernal, okay, Young Money Entertainment, Good Music, Shelley Massingberg Smith, David Boies, Robert Kelly, which is R. Kelly, Milton Brown, Marcelo something, Sprint, like Sprint, Viacom CBS, Virgil something, Oblo, I don't know how to say that, Quarter Investments Authority, Tudor Celebia Corporation, I'm messing all these names up, somebody else with a G, because I can't pronounce that name, number 31, I can't pronounce that, Parkwood Entertainment, the City of New York Police Department, okay, Sir Philip Green, I'm sorry, can you not hear it? I turned it down too low, hold on, let me just finish this and I'll come back, Sony Entertainment, John Doe's, Jane Doe, 1 to 100. There's a lot more in Corporation Doe's 1 to 100. So there are 100 more men, there are 100 more women, and there are 100 more corporations. Hold on, Cat. Okay, so this is what they're being accused of, right? Cat, let me get the baby real quick before we get into this. Really? You didn't eat your toast. You didn't eat your cereal. You didn't eat your yogurt. Oh, you found that you don't want it? You don't want it? You want it out? Okay, I'll let you out. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Are you okay? Are you okay? Mm-hmm. I love you. You're okay. Good girl. Sit back. Oh, there we go. Yeah, let me put the phone down. You ready? I love you. Turn the light on over here for you, okay? You gotta eat your toast, though, okay? Here you go. Lights on. Okay? You okay? Okay. All right, so this is what they're being accused of, and it is deep. I might not say every single word because I don't want to get demonetized, okay? Plaintiff, number 1, enters the statement. All right, the Doe defendants, including corporations, the last 3 that we read, and they're, hold on, this is really small, executive or involved, okay, their executive or involved personnel are fully included in this action. The Doe defendants, now, I don't understand why they won't put their names there. The Doe defendants represent employees, partners, collaborators, vendors, third parties, heirs, and related entities who identities and specific crime rolls have been internationally concealed or withheld by the defendants to prevent their being brought to justice by being named in this and other civil complaints while initially being made unavailable to the plaintiffs of the action to avoid redress. So I think they're scared, obvious, right? These are a lot of big names. Corporate defendants named or identified as those are accused of aiding and abetting in the facilitation of the unlawful surveillance, spying, stalking, repeated drugging, abducting, hostage taking, and kidnapping for the criminal intent of sexual assault, abuse, extortion, and exploitation in the same capacity as any person named as defendant, and in their capacity as corporations providing support to the criminal enterprise of the defendants 1 through 3 as corporate purveyors. So they're saying, oh man, this is deep. Facilitators, conspirators, and including by providing money laundering services to route payment to the parties of the large-scale criminal enterprise of criminal activity targeting the plaintiffs. Some defendants entities are not revealed at the time of filing this statement to protect or preserve any criminal investigation occurring that may be jeopardized or undermined if the plaintiffs reveal certain defendants' identities at this stage of the proceedings. So oh wow, this is deep. Over the course of decades, the defendants established a lucrative but sociopathic criminal enterprise where the defendants engage in decades of human trafficking, sexual assaults, and various abuses, including financial and economic, oh my goodness, exploitation, drugging for abduction, taking plaintiffs, number 1, and plaintiffs John and Jane Doe 1 through 100 hostage. Woo! The defendants engaged in this criminal and sociopathic conduct as a form of specific criminal intentions designed as sexual harassment, extortion, physical torture, psychological torment, and revenge targeting plaintiff number 3 for her refusal to sell her child. Plaintiff number 1 or children, John Doe and Jane Doe plaintiffs to the defendants 1 through 3. So hold on, let's just go back to see who plaintiff 1 through 3 is. That would be the 1953 trust, Harvey Weinstein, and Jay-Z nonetheless. When plaintiffs number 3 refused to sell or allow the defendant in any capacity to sexually abuse or financially exploit plaintiff number 1 or any other children and grandchildren represented as John and Jane Doe plaintiffs number 1 through 10. At any time, the defendants began targeting the family for economic abuses and financial exploitations that not only consisted of drugging the children, the plaintiff 2 and 3 for sex trafficking, hostage taking, and related abuse, but also began exploiting the plaintiffs for theft of trade secrets, intellectual property, and torturous interference in the plaintiff's career and economic opportunities. This extensive scheme of the defendants was initiated by Jeffrey Epstein. The defendant represented throughout this action by his estate, the 1953 trust, and as revenge against Plaintiff 3. Plaintiff 3 agreed to out of the court multi-million dollar monetary settlement in the late 1980s, early 90s to avoid a public criminal and civil prosecution for Epstein's sexual abuse of oh, I thought that was cat. It was my dog. It scared me. Epstein's sexual abuse of several of the plaintiff's 2 and 3's children. Plaintiff 2 and 3 share 6 children together. 3 sons, 3 daughters, approximately 14 grandchildren. Oh my God. After misappropriating Leslie Waxner money to pay the settlement, Jeffrey Epstein devised a scheme of revenge and recovery of the money by targeting the plaintiffs for drugging and trafficking the children for continued abuse at his various orgies around the world, where he was paid large sums by elite, quote-unquote, attendees of the I don't know how to say that, event, and then used the money from abusing the plaintiffs to repay his debt to Waxner. The decades of abuse and sexual assaults were equally to the benefit, entertainment, and economic enrichment of the corporations, as well as facilitated in whatever capacities by the corporations, their managers, and personnel, as by any person named as defendant. Okay, hold on. It says, ouch. This action is in the U.S. Southern District Court of New York because it is where the defendants' conspiracies to traffic and exploit for criminal sexual intent targeting plaintiff number 1 occurred when she was a minor child belonging to and in the custody of plaintiff 2 and 3. Over the course of 30 years since at least 1988 to 1989, the defendant did conspire to unlawfully surveil, drug, and abduct for sexual assault, sex trafficking, and other exploitive abuse. Plaintiff 1 around the world, specifically throughout the Southern District of New York. This action is entered into the U.S. Southern District Court of New York as it is one jurisdiction in which the defendants abducted plaintiff number 1 to at approximately age 13 to sexually assault and exploit sexually for financial gain. The defendant Harvey Weinstein, Sean Carter, Jeffrey Epstein, represented in this action as defendant 1, the 1953 trust, conspired together with the other defendants to illegally transact a purchase agreement giving them ownership of plaintiff number 1 while she was a minor child residing in the states of Illinois at approximately age 5 or 6 years old. Wow. In the custody of her parents, plaintiff 2 and 3, with the intent of committing crime, sex acts against the plaintiff as a child and throughout the course of her entire adult life. The defendants 1, 2, and 3 at no time communicated with her nor received permission from plaintiff 2 and 3, the biological and custodial parents of plaintiff 1, the purchase plaintiff number 1, or otherwise taken possession of her at any time as a minor child. Over the course of at least 30 years and longer, the defendants conspired to surveil and stalk plaintiff 1 and 3 in order to track the female plaintiff with an intent to commit various sex acts, ETAL, against them. The defendant 1, 2, and 3 conspired with the various parties and corporations named as defendants to stalk the plaintiff in order to drug, abduct, traffic the plaintiff number 1 to various events known as sex parties, hosted by the now deceased Jeffrey Epstein, represented as defendant 1, around the world for abuse by elite, high-profile, wealthy purveyors held at all of defendant number one properties, including the United States and Virgin Islands, with the intent of committing crimes against the plaintiff. At age 13 specifically, the plaintiff number one was stalked in the state of Missouri, drugged and trafficked to be sexually abused at an event at 9 East 71st Street, Manhattan, New York, by conspiring defendants. At this piece of property owned by defendant one, plaintiff one was sexually assaulted by various parties in attendance, specifically Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter. Whoa. I told you these people were no good. Once they bought that church, I was like, oh my God, here we go. You know? The plaintiffs were reportedly stalked, placed under unlawful surveillance, drugged, abducted, and trafficked. I can never say that word. Trafficked. I don't know. For sexual assault, abuse, and exploitation at regular intervals over the course of more than 20 years after the attack at the Manhattan townhouse owned by the defendant one, Jeffrey Epstein, represented as defendant number one, conspired with Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter to initiate a system of stalking, surveillance, drugging, abducting, and trying to physical control, abuse, or financial exploit, and extort the plaintiff number one. The conspiracy was in retaliation for selling a multi-million-dollar lawsuit out of court, or for settling, a multi-million-dollar lawsuit out of court with plaintiff number three, mother for Epstein's crime of sexual abuse, plaintiff number one, and several other siblings aboard the Lolita Express private jet with the current disregistered tail number of N908JE, and on Pedophile Island, the private owned the Little St. James Island in the late 1980s to early 1990s after being entrusted with the unsupervised care of the children. The defendant's conspiracy to operate this criminal enterprise targeting the plaintiff spanned the entire nation of the United States, anywhere the plaintiff traveled or resided. The plaintiff's system of stalking, drugging, and trafficking involved a complex, sophisticated criminal network established among and in tandem, I don't know what that is, with all of the defendants to traffic plaintiff number one for their abuse, exploitation, entertainment, and criminal intent of racketeering, extortion, and sex crimes. So there is still 6 more pages to read. I'll read them to you if you want me to, or you can just go look up this number right here. Hold on. This case number. Just type it in right here. Okay. And you can read it for yourself. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is legit. But my thing is, this is only 3 people, okay? Besides these John Doe and Jane Doe 1 through 10, 1 through 5. I feel like there are thousands more, okay? Thousands. This is just my spirit talking to me. I can't help it. Thousands more. It's not just these people, and it's not just these people, okay? Like, this is a lot of big freaking names. I'm so scared for these people, but I'm so happy that they're doing it. But I feel like there's so many more. I really do. I don't know why I feel that way, other than it's my spirits talking to me. So I will do the reading for Isaac Happy on Monday. Okay, you might get it Monday or Tuesday. But this is big news. I also saw something about Oprah being part of sex trafficking. I saw Ellen DeGeneres' name on it, Keanu Reeves' name on it. Tom Hanks' name on it. I saw a lot of big people, man. I can't find that one now. So I'll still research it. I'm going to try to find it again. But this is fact. This is not a conspiracy, people. Look, it's right here. It's right there. Crazy, right? All right, babes. I love y'all.